All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. We're gonna see if it's a local search and it's city search, see if it has BSS for any of them. And yeah, we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographers in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. If you want more info on that, check out pinned post, pinned video, home video, whatever. And this channel, this profile all the way over on the left, BSS, focusing on the highest intent people. Is people searching for, boudoir photographer city or, like they want a boudoir photographer, boudoir shoot now. And they're searching this on social and on Google. Our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, is all the way on the right. That's for boudoir right now for boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand a month on boudoir Facebook ad. You have to, on ads, boudoir Facebook ads. So you have to go check out our other profiles for that. But getting back to BSS, boudoir search sameness. That's when boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. Basically, we're not being seen because we know approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. So we don't care about those 20% that do, because they're going to page 10, clicking every link, getting a price quote from everyone. We care about the 80% that, approximately 80% that never go past page 1. And so if we got 0 slots, well, we're invisible. They ain't never buying from us because we're on page 2. If we got 1 slot, we look the same as everyone else, so we're essentially invisible again, even though we are on page 1 of Google. There's nothing drawing them to us instead of everyone else, so they're probably gonna click, down through every single link, get a price quote from everyone, talk to everyone, blah blah blah. And 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. That means something is seriously broken. A boudoir photography business should always have a minimum of 3. So we talk about our GBC minimum of 3 here. 3 out of 10 on page 1 of Google for our local, local town, small town, small city, small part of the city. And we gotta shoot to get 3 out of 10, GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 at the city level as well, like Cincinnati or Miami. Because at that point, we can basically guarantee we're not disappearing. We may not be growing, but we can essentially guarantee we're not disappearing, not declining. And the 2 deeper root causes of actually having 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google are MS, market saturation, which basically everyone knows about, and the big killer, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, that's when more and more boudoir photographers entering the market every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. It seems like whenever anyone gets a new iPhone, they are throwing up their Google My Business profile, say they offer boudoir photo shoots now, or anytime anyone gets a new camera, people are posting in the mom group saying, yeah, I do boudoir shoots now. And they're getting ranked, the stuff, their websites, their Facebook profiles, it's all getting ranked. Page 1 of Google, kind of shuffling everyone around, pushing long-standing people who were there off page 1. But here comes the real killer, the false belief of page 1 inequality. So from what I've seen, the false belief of page 1 inequality or page 1 equality has been the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses. It's basically believing that page 1, the false belief of page 1 equality is when we believe, it's normal to have either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. Maybe we're like, oh yeah, I used to have 1 link on page 1, but a lot more boudoir photographers came in, and yeah, I got kicked off. I'm on page 2 now, but that's fine. That's normal. No, that is not normal. The norm is to have 3 or more links on page 1 of Google. This is the norm for the boudoir photographers that eventually become and want to become and can eventually become the #1 boudoir photographers in their city. So it's accepted as normal, but it means something's fundamentally broken because we're believing, oh yeah, that's simply how it is. No, it's not. I've gotten to 9 out of 10 links on page 1 in 10 days. I went from 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 in 10 days. More on that in a little bit. Now, Boudoir photographer with BSS, Boudoir search sameness, so having 0 or 1 links on page 1 of Google, is a disappearing Boudoir photographer. Basically, if we disappear off page 1 of Google, or if we're on page 1 with only 1 link, or essentially invisible as well, then we've essentially been disappeared as a boudoir photographer, which means our boudoir photography business will disappear soon enough after that. So we're building our universe. We can see declining boudoir photographer, or a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and page 1 equality, the false belief of page 1 equality. So do we have a solution? Yes, we do. BSS is treated with social search saturation, our S-cubed methodology, which we've been developing, testing the last 7 months, bringing it to market now. And this is literally the only thing that I've ever seen that is able to successfully fight against market saturation. So imagine we got 1 million boudoir photographers each with a website, ranking for boudoir, in Cincinnati, whatever. And we're in Cincinnati as well. If we can take S-cubed methodology to the max, and we can probably do it if we got enough time, take it to the max, and we rank for, the first 300 search results on Google. That's the first 30 pages, 10 pages, 10 organic slots per page, which only comes as a result of us ranking for the first 30 pages across Facebook search, Instagram search, YouTube search, and TikTok search. And basically, anyone, anywhere in Cincinnati searches for, boudoir photographer Cincinnati, we're essentially the only one they can find. And even if there's a million boudoir photographers, if we got all the first page links, our business will probably be growing every day, every week, every month, every year, and all those other ones will eventually disappear. Well, I mean, we've already disappeared them with all of our content, but then eventually go out of business. And so, again, this is the only thing I've ever seen that can successfully fight back against market saturation. That can happen in under a month. Obviously, brand building would be the other thing, but that takes years. Now, once you're with S-cubed methodology, so instead of having 0 or 1 slots on page 1, we have more than that. We now have page 1 visibility, so we look different. We prefer to get to the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 links on page 1, because basically everyone else will have 1. And we'll actually really look different because they'll see our name. Scrolling down, they'll see our name literally 3 times. And probably by the 3rd time, they'll click on us, be like, all right, these guys seem different. Google keeps recommending them. There must be some reason why. Now, the other bonus is every new link we get on page 1 is we're kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible to the approximately 80% of Google searchers who never go past page 1. Literally, they're page 1 or bust. These are the people that we're focusing on, getting in front of. So we got page 1 visibility, and page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, so people are actually seeing us because we show up way more on page 1 of Google. Like, we're actually entering their brain, entering their eyeballs, entering their brain. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It's caused by market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Cool, we will attack that, solve that with our S-cubed methodology. Achieve page 1 visibility and become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. So now my results, actually use an S-cubed methodology on myself. This is for the term BLCS boudoir. And okay, we got an AI overview. We got the Google 3 map pack. Now we'll hit the organic results. So you got organic slot 1, me. Then we got slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, slot 6, slot 7, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, slot 8, and we got slot 10 way down there at the bottom. Slot 9 is someone else. But in 10 days, I was able to completely take this over. So if people are searching this, literally 10 days, I was at 0 out of 10. I got to 9 out of 10 for this term BLCS Boudoir. And so if people are searching BLCS Boudoir, who are they coming to? They literally have, what they got? They got, at organic search, they got 2 options, me or the person in number 9, way down at the bottom. So they're probably going to be coming to me. And so now the main event here, looking at this boudoir photography business. Going to look for their local search in their city search, and we're going to see do they have BSS for either of them? Are they hitting the GBC recommended minimums for any of them? All right, so we're going Rancho Cordova. All right, let's check this out. Rancho Cordova. All right, let's see. All right. All right, not seeing any yet. Nope. All right, dude, we're at 0 out of 10 for local. So we definitely got BSS for local search. And let's see. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. No. No. All right, we're at 0 out of 10 on Sacramento as well. All right, so yeah, we got BSS for both the local and the city searches. We're at 0 out of 10 for both. And so we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3. Getting 3 out of 10 slots on page 1. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, you've got BSS, you did your local search and your city search, and you saw, you only got either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, and or you have not hit the GBC minimum, recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots on page 1. And you understand the page 1 equality belief, and now you're like, oh yeah, obviously that's false, when we didn't really even think about it before, because now we see how I got 9 out of 10 on page 1 of Google organic search results. And you understand the market saturation, yeah. New iPhones, new boudoir photographers, new camera, new boudoir photographers. But you're also seeing AI take more and more people's jobs, and you're like, okay, like COVID brought in a flood of boudoir photographers. AI is taking more people's jobs, probably going to bring in a flood of boudoir photographers as well. So you want to prepare for the influx of supply of sellers by kind of fortifying your page 1 Google presence. So essentially never allow those people joining to show up page 1 on Google. And you see SQ's methodology, and you're like, yes, finally, I've been waiting for something like this. So you want to use SQ's methodology to achieve page 1 visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, achieve boudoir search visibility. And also you want the back-end bonuses of using SQ's methodology as well, which we haven't talked about yet, we'll talk about now, which is we're basically building thematic keyword columns via social and on Google that are kind of columns plugged into our brand, our basically the name of our business, our social handles. And those thematic keyword columns, guess what? They increase the probability we show up here in the AI overview. They increase the probability we show up in AI search like ChatGPT search, Claude search, Perplexity search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search. Increase in the probability there. And last time I did ChatGPT search for boudoir photographers in the city, recommended me, it only gave me 3. And AI search is increasing every single day, more and more people use an AI search every single day. Still, Google is about 90% search volume, but we're kind of pre-positioning ourselves AI search, which S-cube methodology helps with. And kind of once we build this kind of back-end invisible momentum, these thematic keyword columns that plug into all these, basically prevent people ranking on page one against us and build up our keep building up and increase our probability of showing up across all these AI searches. And you decide you want to be a first mover because this has got to get done. Start building up this momentum because again, ads momentum goes to zero when you stop spending. This momentum will continue ongoing. Basically, these have momentum, not infinite momentum, but you decide you want to start the momentum, then keep growing the momentum, actually dominate page one. And you also see that the further you put yourself ahead of the competition now, when AI starts basically kind of forcing people to become boudoir photographers, you'll be well positioned to be unaffected by it because you've already built up page one domination, which is like, dude, that's like seven out of 10 slots or more. Page one Google, 8 out of 10 slots or more. And being recommended AI search, putting distance between you and everyone else. And you want to basically guarantee that you put so much distance, nobody can catch up. Instead of a competitor working with me, where plan right now is to only work with one person per city. Instead of a competitor getting all these kind of momentum bonuses and page one slots where then you would have to actually, if I were to continue work with them, you would have to rederive the S-cubed methodology on your own, figure out how to actually get it to work. And then you will never actually know if you're doing it correctly, how we've done it. And then you'd have to equal our output to maintain the distance kind of behind your competitor that I could be working with. And you'd have to kind of double our output to actually make up that lost ground and build back up the momentum and take it from us. So you've decided, well, it's better to simply become the first mover here. So we get all the benefits, none of the drawbacks. So if you want all these benefits, shoot me a DM when I open for new patient intake. I'm not currently open for new patient intake, so even if you want to work with me, you cannot. But when I do open up the hospital for new patient intake, shoot me a DM and we will see if you qualify.